Hello guys! Here in Ukraine we sometimes joke that we are a bit tired of living in a history book, but we don't have other choice with Russia as a neighbor, and the only plan is to win this war, but not just win this war, lead to the defeat of Russia and the collapse of the Kremlin. And those people who believe it is possible to be neutral in such times actually make great mistakes, because such bullies as the Russian Federation only learn by force. And we apply this force, destroying their oil refineries, their military airfields and ports, and a number of aircraft and a minesweeper, and all of that in just 1 week. This week was super rich in different events, and once again proves that it is good to make friends with Ukraine after his visit to Kyiv. Blinken feels okay, and karma is chasing the Iranian leader and the Prime Minister of Slovakia. So let's talk about these events from an ordinary Ukrainian perspective and see how many can change in just 1 week. My name is Anna and I vlog daily from Ukraine since the start of the brutal Russian invasion. So if you're new to the channel, you support Ukraine, please subscribe and help us fight against Russian propaganda and fake news. And my longtime friends, check your subscription status and hit notification button. I think it is the main update, not just of this week, but perhaps of 2024, that Ukrainian strategy to target Russian oil refineries with our drones turned out to be super successful. According to the analysis of the Pentagon, now Russia lacks approximately 14–20% of its oil refining capacities, leading to serious shortages, rising prices, but most important, ban on export. Russia is the country that gets 1/3 of its budget from oil and gas. So this is a huge slap on their ugly face. And whether you like it or not, I'm sure we will continue, and we will see more and more problems coming to Russian military budget that actually fuels not only economy but real machines that they use to destroy Ukrainian territory. And just this week, we have targeted a very big oil refinery in Tuapse, leading to its closure. And in general, Russians don't have opportunities to repair these oil refineries, well, because of sanctions. And that is where I need to thank all of you. And this was also a week when we used ATACMS a little bit, targeting Russian military airfield on the territory of the temporarily occupied Crimea in Belbek, and destroying a number of aircraft that they keep there to attack the front lines, to attack Kherson region, and so on. And another airfield was targeted tonight in Krasnodar region, which is close to Ukraine, and reminds us once again that we have to officially acknowledge a number of Russian regions a war zone too. And actually, with his blitzkrieg, Putin achieved the country and brought war back home to Russia, where it actually belongs, and I hope will continue after we take all of the invaders from Ukraine. Believe me, they have a lot of work to do inside Russia, especially around and in Moscow. And this was also a week of successful attacks on Russian military port in Novorossiysk, which is Russian military port on the territory of the Federation. Most of the Black Sea Fleet escaped to this city, but we can actually reach them even there. With Ukrainian drones and marine drones worked really well yesterday or tonight, I'm not sure, destroying another Russian minesweeper in the waters of the Black Sea. If you're new to the channel, and actually 50% of people watching these videos are new, please subscribe. This is the easiest but extremely effective way to demonstrate your solidarity with Ukraine and help us spread more information about this war that is important, not just for us, but for the world. Because once again, I'm convinced this is a war between two worlds, democratic and authoritarian. But we see it's really dangerous for health and karma to make friends with Putin. Recently, he visited China, and it is actually pathetic to watch how he was greeted there. And all these poor children that had to participate in honorary parades. with dictators like Xi and Putin. And even if you want to be like neutral, just have a look at what they make children do in Russia, in China, and if you're a sane person, you will definitely choose the side of democracies. Maybe they are not perfect, but they are definitely the best form of government and state organization present at the moment. And Putin visited China. We don't know what will happen, but his friend, Iranian leader, Iran supplies Russia with missiles, with Shahed drones, got in an air crash on his helicopter. We don't know what will happen, but honestly, I feel really sorry for smart, strong, freedom-loving people in Iran, and actually recollect one moment when I received a comment from a subscriber who claimed he knows a worse authoritarian regime that modern Russia, and I felt like, oh, what do you know? And then he started telling the story of Iranian opposition, and I have to tell you, I feel very sorry for the people who have to go through this, and I feel very bad when democratic countries turn a blind eye on such situations. And actually, I believe Georgia now lacks support from the EU, because these are good people who have chosen their future in the European Union, and pro-Russian oligarchs try to drag them back to the Russian world doctrine, and the world is busy observing. I know it's difficult right now with so many wars, conflicts, and chaos all around, but still, it's extremely important for democracies to demonstrate strength and unity. And to demonstrate strength is easy when you have enough ATACMS, and we reached a number of targets in temporarily occupied Luhansk, destroying some of Russian army air defense systems and command points. And this was also a week of an assassination attempt on the Prime Minister of Slovakia, Fico, who is not a great supporter of Ukraine, former communist, accused once he actually murdered, not he, but we don't know who, but people connected to him. It was claimed a journalist and his girlfriend for some investigation journalism. It was a huge scandal, and no one believed he would return to prime minister position, but he did. And now he was shot, luckily survived the assassination attempt by a pro-Russian activist, but Russia started using it to claim it's Ukraine, and top Russian propagandist Margarita Simonyan claimed, oh, this is all Ukraine. It goes without saying it's not, because a person who actually committed this attempt was caught on the place, and it turned out to be a pro-Russian Slovak writer who chose definitely a wrong way to change the political regime. It's better to do it in a democratic way, and sometimes it is difficult, especially if you have Russia that once again finances lots of pro-Russian parties, especially in formerly occupied by Soviet Union republics. But anyway, we see it's bad for your health, your life, and your karma to make friends with Putin. So we will see what will happen to Xi, but it's not good for Fico, it's not good for the Iranian leader. And we will see how long will Shoigu survive after his dismissal. Russia has a new Minister of Defense, or should I say Minister of Offense. He does not seem a bright person, similar to all the KGB, FSB agents that are now. The government, the so-called criminal government of Russia, I don't think it will change a lot for the war, but I think fewer people will survive this rotations, this purges in Russian military top. And it is another demonstration of weakness, demonstration of dissatisfaction and failure of plan A, B, X, and so on. Maybe Russians have chosen this Z letter to symbolize their special military operation, because they realize this is the last possible plan for the dying Soviet empire to survive, and now we witness its agony. And Ukraine will definitely win. Remember to subscribe to experience this extremely important period in global history together with an ordinary Ukrainian and to celebrate our victories. And we were actually super happy tonight. Everyone in Ukraine was watching a very important boxing competition, and for the first time in 25 years, the world has an absolute world boxing champion, and it is a Ukrainian, Alexander Usyk. He likes to show off. He was wearing different clothes, looking like Ukrainian headman, but he also works a lot to popularize the country and to tell the story of many modern Ukrainian heroes, and you can actually recognize the face of one of such men shot by Russian soldiers, even though he was without any weapons. He was a prisoner of war already at that moment, and we discussed that very tragic moment. And Usyk is great in bringing more truth about Russian war crimes in Ukraine, and also cool because that's a great victory. I don't know if you were watching, let me know in the comments below. But to celebrate this victory, we have decided to launch a sale on our merch shop to celebrate this victory. And actually we have one more new design coming to celebrate this freedom fighting spirit of Ukraine. So go check the new t-shirt design and choose and potentially get the items you like for a minus 15% price. And this will last for the next 2 days. Let's celebrate Ukrainian victory in boxing, and I'm sure sometime soon we will celebrate Ukrainian victory in this war. And total Russian defeat and collapse of the Kremlin. This is important. Remember to join me on Instagram. I'm active there, and also on X and Threads and Discord. All the links that you need are in the description of this video. Thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channel, helping me film more, think more, feel stronger with you, and write more. I'm working and I'm happy to have this opportunity. And most importantly, thank you for standing with Ukraine. Together we will win. Slava Ukraini!